Hello there folks, welcome back to the Chaps Guide. My name is Ash and I am your host on this journey through men's style, self-development and personal grooming. You know the drill by now. And living here in the UK, you get quite used to changes in temperature as the seasons change. And we've just tipped over into December, which is the official beginning of the winter months here in the UK. Now it's not actually that cold. I think our climate's getting a little bit warmer. However, what I love about living in a country which offers me all different variations in temperature, from the warmth of the summer to the cool in the winter, it allows me the opportunity to have quite a varied wardrobe. You know, in the summertime, I enjoy the vibrancy of the bright colours and the light fabrics. And in the winter time, I enjoy the cozy and corseting clothing, which I get to wear at this time of year. I've even created a special category name for the clothes that I wear at this time of year, and I call it Snugwear, because it makes me feel snug as a bug in a rug when I'm going about my life at the cooler time of year. So today I am going to share with you the Snugwear which makes my life a little bit more enjoyable at this time of year. Now let's start from the ground up. Footwear. Because footwear is one of those things, it's kind of a rite of passage for me. As I enter the cooler months, I put away my leather-soled shoes and I bring out the Snug footwear, which I know is going to carry me through the cooler months. Now, my footwear of choice in the winter is undoubtedly the dress boot, because it kind of allows me to keep a foot in both camps. It is stylish, it is elegant, but at the same time, the ankle protection gives a lot more protection from the elements, and also something like a Vibram sole or a day-night sole will allow you greater traction on the wet, slippery and maybe icy times of year. For me, my personal boot of choice is this Loke Barefoot in a burnished burgundy colour. I choose this one because I rather like that lovely broguing which offers texture and pattern to my footwear, and all that extra protection means I'm nice and safe as I traverse the pavements in the winter months. Now, staying with the footwear, if you're wearing boots, there's one thing which you need to wear with them. You need to upgrade your socks as well, because, you know, it's a rather chilly time. And the difference that a pair of socks can make is the difference between a warm and comfortable day and a cold and miserable day if you've got cold feet. And I am not a fan of feeling cold. So for me, this time of year, I get out my thicker socks. That's the other advantage of wearing dress boots or boots of any kind, because typically the last or the shape of the boot takes into account that you will be wearing a thicker sock, so they're a lot more comfortable. So for me, my socks of choice are always going to be made of natural fabrics, either wool, cashmere or blends thereof. Now the socks I have here, one of my favourite winter socks, this is by the King's sock maker Corgi down in South Wales, and they make the most incredible footwear, all sockwear, all handmade, and they are just so comfortable, so warming. It just makes life so much more pleasurable when you're going to be, you know, encountering cold temperatures. Get your socks right, get your footwear right, and your day is off to a good beginning. Now, if we're looking after the extremities, we've got to keep that theme going. And where your feet are a huge difference in your comfort level, so are the hands. Me, personally, I really feel the cold in my hands, so I tend to wear gloves rather a lot in the winter time. And I have two different tiers of gloves, depending on just how cold it is. At the beginning part of winter, when it's a bit like this, it's not terrifically cold, but it's windy, and that wind can cut through and make your hands rather cold. For me, at this time of year, I opt for an unlined leather glove, which is a great compromise because they're typically made of quite soft leather and they are very closely fitting to the hand. This is a pair of gloves which I bought from South Coombe Gloves, which is a a glove manufacturer, goes back hundreds of years, still owned by the family, and probably not 30 miles from where I am now. So one of the best glove makers in the world. I'm lucky they're on my doorstep. And their gloves are lovely soft leather. They allow me perfect dexterity because they're unlined. It's just like having that thin layer of leather over your hands. It keeps the wind out. It keeps the worst of the cold out, but it's not fully insulated. So it's almost like having a second skin. Now these are a great option for this time of year. However, when it gets really cold, that's when you need to up the game and get a much more insulated pair of gloves. And for the last few years, I've been wearing these gloves by British manufacturer Barbour. Now these are leather outer gloves. Oh my word, when you put them on, you just get this instant cozy sensation. And you know, you've got leather on the outside, which gives you all of the protection you want from the wind. But on the inside, you get this wonderful, I'm sure it's artificial material actually, but you've got this sort of furry material inside which offers protection and cosseting warmth to your hands. And believe me, when you're somebody like me who hates to feel the cold in your fingers, a good pair of gloves makes all the difference to my comfort levels throughout the day. Now the next thing I want to talk about is keeping the body warm, the torso. It's where the important organs are. We need to keep it protected. And let me say, there are few pleasures in life which measure up to putting on a fine knitwear garment on a cold day. Just like today, I'm wearing a fully wool Submariner sweater today with a roll neck. Now sweaters like these have been worn by polar adventurers to keep them warm in the most extreme climates on the planet. There is nothing better for wool at keeping you warm. Don't let anybody tell you else. Don't let anybody say that some sort of artificial material is going to keep you as warm. It isn't true. Right? Wool has the amazing quality of keeping you insulated even when it's wet. You've only got to ask a sheep, that's how it works for them. Now if you want to go a bit beyond wool, you can have merino wool and you can have even cashmere. These are just different versions of wool. But wool just gets the job done. It keeps you warm and snugly. It lasts for many years. It's hypoallergenic and it's just natural. It's the thing which is provided for us by nature to keep us warm. Now I like the Submariner because it really keeps me feeling like I'm all snug. That's why I call it snugwear. I'm all sort of cosseted inside that woolly shell and I feel wonderful. And choose some nice colours like I'm wearing today. This is a Submariner sweater by British knitwear manufacturer North Sea Clothing. They're a little expensive, but believe me, they last for years and years and they do the job. They just keep you so beautifully warm. They also do some nice colours, so you can mix and match and just bring texture and pattern and colour to your outfit, which is what you really look for at this time of year. So keep it all good, keep it all wool. At home, when I'm relaxing and chilling, I don't really want to wear a roll neck sweater, feels a little bit restrictive. I then go for a shawl collared cardigan. That is so comfortable when I'm at home and, you know, I just want to relax. However, pick the right shawl collared cardigan and you can actually wear it instead of a blazer in sort of casual situations. So it can be a multifarious outfit, garment when you need to press it into more than one purpose. So always go with the wool and treat your knitwear with the respect that it deserves. Don't go cheap, particularly on knitwear. Now, kind of on the same theme is the scarf, all right? The scarf is the bringer of so many gifts in the winter months, because at a time of year where we typically dress in sort of drab outer garments, which for practical nature, they all tend to be like black, like this overcoat I'm wearing now, or charcoal grey or navy. There's not a lot of colour there. It's all rather dull, but you get to jazz it up with a scarf, because scarves bring colour, they bring texture, they bring pattern, but more than anything, they bring warmth. And it allows you just to look a little more stylish whilst you're protected and cosseted and warm. Now, as ever, same as the knitwear, natural fabrics only. Wool, lamb's wool, merino, cashmere, depends how big your wallet is. This is a woolen scarf, knitted for me by an artisan scarf maker who I bumped into in a county fair. She was selling off scarves she was making, and this is now one of my favourite scarves. Didn't cost a lot of money, but it's absolutely wonderful. And it brings that little bit of burnt orange. Doesn't really marry too well today because I'm wearing an orange sweater, but ordinarily that little flash of orange elevates my outfit. It just makes me look a little more cheerful. When there is not much cheer in the trees, all the flowers, all the leaves are long gone. Colour is a rarity. Introduce it into your winter outfit with a scarf. Now at this time of year, one of the true gifts of the cool weather is it allows you a bit of free rein when it comes to your headwear, because we don't tend to wear that many hats in the warmer months. So for me, I love to crack out my trilby in the winter, because the trilby, my trilby here, is made of wool, woolen felt, and it is just a really warm hat. Not to mention the fact it is totally debonair, very stylish, and the trilby remains one of the few hats in the modern world, dress hats, which you can wear out and about in the general population without attracting a great deal of scorn. You try doing that with a Homburg or something like that, and you're going to draw the suspicious glances from the wider community. But the trilby, I think, is just able to slip under the radar and be worn by people even in this modern time, which is a rarity. Can't say that about many dress hats. It adds elevation to your look because, you know, let's be honest, it adds about 3 inches to my height immediately when I put it on. So it gives you an air of gravitas, a bit more dominance in a group of people, and people notice you when you're wearing a hat. Great opportunity, the winter months, to wear a trilby. Now, not everybody has the strength of character to wear a trilby. There are, of course, less conspicuous alternatives. Now, maybe a dress hat, maybe not so dress, but a flat cap will be the way to go, because the flat cap is kind of really acceptable by everybody. It's the smart man's alternative to a baseball cap in the modern world, and it can be crushed up, placed in the pocket, so you can carry it around, take it anywhere you want, and it's not going to get in your way. Unlike the trilby that you do have to give some thought to. You know, where are you going to put your hat when you sit on the bus, when you sit down to dine at the restaurant? Maybe they don't have a cloakroom. You've got to look after your hat. But with the old flat cap, it's ready to wear and just as warm. 100% wool, nice and warm, also very stylish. Now, on the super cool days, and I haven't got one with me today, where you want a bit of genuine ear protection, you want to pull that hat down over the ears, you can go with something like a cashmere skull cap, which will give you that lovely warm feeling, but keep the old lugs feeling nice and warm as well. So choose your hat depending on the climate and the situation that you're facing. But for me, err on the side of being dapper and debonair, think about a trilby. You could always go a bowler or a Homburg if you're prepared to take those funny looks, but the trilby is going to steer you in the right direction. So there we go, folks. I've introduced you to a whole new category of clothing that I've always called snug wear, because it keeps you lovely and snug, and it makes the winter months an enjoyable period to navigate your way through, because you get to choose all of these wonderful clothes which keep you warm, keep you looking stylish, keep you looking elegant and standing apart from the crowd who are all wearing puffer jackets and baseball caps. You are going to stand out like the intentionally well-dressed man that you are, and you will not be part of that herd who just dress all the same. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, click the subscribe button. If you'd like to support the channel, you can just leave me a comment, you can drop me an email, you can buy me a coffee, or you could even become a patron. My patrons get additional video content, and we've got a personal dialogue going on over there. And if you want to find out how to get involved with all of those things, you will find the links all in the show notes below. So, until the next time, stay snug, and I'll see you again very soon.